Welcome once again to another edition of the Chicago Bears pregame show right here on the Kanika Sports Channel. I am your host, Kenny Time, and yes, not to be confused, I am decked out in Chicago Bulls attire today because the Bulls have a huge weekend of games with the Bucks and the Cavs, and then Monday with the Spurs, and we have Bulls fever over here, right?
All right, yes.
Indeed, but this is the Bears pregame show, and we are looking at the Bears matchup this Sunday with the New York Football Giants. And the Bears are looking to win 2 in a row after that exciting, thrilling ending victory in Cincinnati last weekend when Caleb Williams hooked up with Colston Loveland for a 58-yard TD, Nika. We are going to be looking at all the injuries heading into this matchup, Kenny's keys to victory, that's me, and what do the poly markets say about this game? What are the gamblers saying, Nika? But first, if this is your first time here, please do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the Kanika Sports Channel, and ring that bell for our mascot, Freckles.
Thank you.
A.K.A. Frexy. Look at that face. How can you not want to see more Freckles pictures every damn day we post something?
She's the best Bears fan.
She is. All right, Nico, we have a Bears game Sunday with the New York Football Giants, and we are talking about it. Let's take a look at what is happening around the league. The Bears 5-3 in the NFC North heading into this one. The Giants 2-7 in the NFC East in the cellar. A Bears win would keep them on track with the Lions, who are 5-3, and the Packers, who are 5-2-1, and hold a slight edge in the division race right now. With that tie game, that was against Dallas, if you'll remember, on Sunday Night Football, I believe. We were watching that one in bed, if I remember correctly. Anyways, some things happening around Hallis Hall this week that caught my attention. Colston Loveland, everybody, check this out. You might be wondering, what is this green substance that is covering him in his practice uniform? This picture posted on Wednesday, everybody, on the Bears social media feed, and it says no rest for the MVP, and I had no idea what the MVP was. I had to look it up, and it turns out it is the Nickelodeon valuable player.
Oh.
And it was slime time at Hallis Hall. Here's Caleb Williams preparing said slime with the Bears. It looks like Benedict is back there, T.O. Benedict. Nevertheless, there was some slime being prepared, and Colston Loveland was doing some kind of a fake interview after being chosen as the Nickelodeon Player of the Week, or the Nickelodeon Most Valuable Player of the Week. So good to see the kids getting involved with the Bears, and boys being boys, as they say. They went and dumped this green slime all over Colston Loveland in a prank, and this interview was apparently not real. Here is all the aftermath, and you can see Colston Loveland smiling, everyone giving him a bit of green slime bath. And yeah, that's what happens when Nickelodeon chooses you to be the player of the week.
I didn't know there was such a thing either.
I had no idea, Nika. But nevertheless, fun stuff at Hallis Hall. Good to see the Bears having fun. You know, we talked about wanting their offense to loosen up and look like they were having fun. That did not stop Colston Loveland from continuing to bring home accolades this week. He was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. A little bit more of a manly award, I guess, there. But nevertheless, a big week from the rookie tight end. He has arrived, according to everybody, and our own social media channel. The Colston Loveland has arrived video that we posted got quite a bit of views. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Great job, Colston Loveland and Caleb Williams. The Bears social media team, they make a poster for the game, as they always do. But this week, I couldn't help but notice, Nika, it has a very Goodfellas-esque vibe to it.
Oh, we're going with the mob motif.
Yes, we went with the Chicago-New York mob connection, I guess, to make the poster for this matchup. I don't know what that says about Montez Sweat, Jervon Dexter Sr., or Alameda Zacchaeus, but I guess that they're our most thuggish gangster players. Is that what I'm supposed to take away from this Bears social media? I'm just kidding. I don't think that they're gangsters or thuggish in any way, but nevertheless, a little funny joke here on a Friday. It is fall, Nika.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I couldn't help but notice as I was watching the Bears practice this week that the leaves are falling from the trees in Lake Forest. Despite the sun, it is probably deceptively chilly in the Midwest.
The days are shorter.
I don't miss it. I'm
I don't
sorry,
either.
everybody. I'm from Chicago. I lived there for 39 years, and I don't miss it. Yeah. Just wanted to get that out there. Hey, thanks once again to the Chicago Bears social media team. The gift that keeps on giving. Wallpaper Wednesday featured the good, better, best designs for your phone. We got a black and white photo or a blue artistic rendering. But go check those out if you want some new Bears wallpaper for your phone. Maybe you want it to be a conversation starter at work. Like, oh, where'd you get that Bears wallpaper? You can say, well, you're not following the Chicago Bears social media team.
There you go.
The gift that keeps on giving. And, oh, by the way, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Rome Odunze and his father.
Oh,
this
what
week.
happened there?
Well, Rome's dad apparently was very unhappy with Rome not getting any catches in Sunday's game at Cincinnati. I did see him drop a touchdown catch, and in the words of my old man, if you can touch it, you can catch it. So I guess that one's on Rome, at least in my dad's eyes. Nevertheless, Rome's dad was not happy about this and said that the Bears need to trade Rome Odunze to a team that actually passes the ball to him. And I thought this was kind of a big overreaction on Rome's dad's part because Rome Odunze is leading the Bears in receiving yards this season.
Maybe he didn't watch the previous games.
Maybe he does. Maybe he's just tuning in for the first time. I find that hard to believe,
I
but
know.
Nevertheless, kind of a little bit of an awkward situation,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say? But right on cue, the Bears social media team comes to the rescue and just posts a mic'd up clip of Rome Odunze from Sunday's game with one word. And do you know what that word was, Nika? Selfless.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I think that was a involuntary response to Rome Odunze's dad to take a chill pill and back the F down and don't embarrass your son. You know, Rome Odunze got asked about this, and we don't have audio or anything to play of it, but he played it off very well. He said his dad's his own person, and he's free to speak his mind.
Of
And I
course.
don't necessarily agree with everything that he's going to post either. So that was his way of saying, like, I
He's
don't
his
care.
own man.
I don't care. I got a job to do right now,
Exactly.
and I got a game to get ready for. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big game this weekend.
To prove his dad.
Well, just to maybe shut this whole situation down. You know, when you have a coach like Ben Johnson, he can design a couple plays and get the ball in Rome's hands. And
Sure. As long as he catches the ball.
Exactly. If you can touch it, you can catch it, Rome. And maybe your dad should tweet that at you next time you drop a touchdown pass against the Bengals or anyone else.
All right.
All right. Well, we have one more thing to add to this little what's going on in Bears land segment, but that is welcome Joe Trion Shoyinka from the Cleveland Browns to the Chicago Bears. That's right. The Bears made one trade before the NFL trading deadline expired on Tuesday at, I think, 3 p.m. Eastern or something. Nevertheless, the Bears needed some help here because they lost Odangbo last week to injured reserve for this season. While this was not the splashiest name that was traded at the trading deadline, this is a body that the Bears desperately needed.
What
to
position
fill.
does he play?
Defensive line and
Okay.
edge. So he will be responsible for trying to put pressure on the quarterback, something the Bears have really struggled with this season. I got to be honest. I don't think they're going to get a lot of help here. You know, I think this is a fill-in body. So I just want to temper expectations for Bears fans out there.
Okay.
Let's turn our attention to some injuries ahead of this game. Hey, look, everybody. The Bears are actually sort of kind of looking like they're getting really healthy. Just 4 names at the top of that did not practice list on Thursday, including Joe Thuney, who is just getting his rest. I mean, this must have been built into his contract or something because for the last few games, he's been getting some extra rest here, and it's not affecting performance or anything on the field. He's a all-pro offensive lineman, definitely knows how to go about his business, and I think they're just giving him extra rest to take care of his body as he gets into his 30s.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with that in my view, but the big thing on here is that DJ Moore, with his hip groin injury, he didn't practice Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday. Rome Odunze has an ankle heel thing. He didn't practice Wednesday, but he did practice on on Thursday, limited. Luther Burden III is going to be back from that concussion. He's been practicing in full, along with Cole Kmet, who had a concussion, and he is back full. So that's good. Kyle Monangai had an ankle and was limited on Wednesday, but he's full. And DeAndre Swift, everybody, with the groin, he did not play last week. He was full on Thursday. I would expect him to play this weekend. And that's going to be good news for the Bears because the Giants, we're going to talk about in our keys to victory, are not very good at stopping the run, everybody.
Oh,
Yes, indeed. Also wanted to point out that this guy, I'm going to try and say this again, Nika, Amen Agbangbamiga. God, I screwed it up, didn't I?
you probably did.
Agbangbamiga. I think I'm screwing it up bad, but whatever. It's going to be a humor segment on the Kanika Sports Channel, everybody. He's been activated from injured reserve. Finally, at long last, we had speculated last week that he might be back last week. He didn't make it, but he's back now.
So he's cleared.
I did not make it in my second attempt to say his name correctly.
Oh, it might take you a few.
Shame on me.
Well, it's a hard name to say it.
All right, where were we? Oh, I wanted to talk about the Giants' injuries for a second because while they have a huge injury report, and I didn't really pull that to talk about anything specific, but the Giants are missing some of their young offensive firepower, some weapons. Malik Neighbors, he went out early on in the season with one of his ligaments. It was either his Achilles or his knee.
Okay.
He's out for the season with surgery. And Cam Scatabo, the running back, who I know Bears fans had their eyes on in the later rounds of the draft, he was actually taken by the Giants. He's out for the season with, I think he has double knee ligament tears.
Double knees? Ooh, ouch.
Well, not both knees, but both ligaments in one knee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Ouch.
No.
He's out for the season.
Yeah.
So we will not get to see some of the young talent from the Giants offense. But I'm still a little nervous about Jaxson Dart, and we'll get to that in a second. But I also think the Giants head coach might be close to getting on the hot seat, everybody. And the Giants coming into this one 2-7, obviously underperforming. We saw them on Hard Knocks not so long ago, and they were not in like rebuild mode or anything. So my advice before we get into the keys to the victory, Nika, is let's add some fire to that fuel. Yes.
Definitely.
Let's put that coach squarely on the hot seat, everybody. And let's get into it here. Kenny's keys to victory. All right, here we go. On offense, we need to establish and exploit this Giants run defense early on in this game and just set the tone. The Bears have been doing such a great job rushing the ball since they came out of the bye week. And it seems now that they've turned a corner and they are a dangerous running team. DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai, they have some decent depth here at that position that's getting the job done. Even though we didn't get the big running back that everybody wanted in the draft, we're showing that the offensive line is just as important. And now that they're starting to play with some synergy, we're able to move and run the ball. So that's a huge key for this game, Nika.
Okay.
The Giants surrender 150 yards a game rushing.
Ooh, ouch.
Ouch, indeed. So let's exploit it. And then on that measure, Caleb, you should look to continue to build off of last week's game-winning touchdown pass and work on being more sharp and accurate with your opportunities this week, because I have a sneaking suspicion that if we are able to run the ball like we should against the Giants, that we won't need to throw the ball as much. So you might not have as many dropbacks. So you might want to make the most of those opportunities when you get them. That's what I'm trying to say. And you might get more opportunities if that's the case. One thing, though, I want to caution Caleb Williams with right now is to not get into a shootout with Jaxson Dart. Don't let another young quarterback on the other side of the field determine how you are going to play your game. You play your game. That's what you need to do in this game. And if Jaxson Dart is airing it out and picking apart our defense, just like the 40-year-old man was last weekend, Joe Flacco, I don't want to see Caleb Williams start to get agitated or antsy and feel like he needs to, spear chuck the ball all over the field when he needs to be himself and play our game.
Play your game.
Yes. Play your game. That's my biggest advice to Caleb Williams before this game. And hopefully Ben Johnson's giving him some of that as well.
Don't get flustered, basically.
Yes.
Play your game.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Now on defense, I'm giving the opposite message. Don't let Jaxson Dart get comfortable against you. Don't give a young quarterback air to breathe on your turf. It's easier said than done. I get it. I just don't think we should underestimate this guy. Like when you look at the team leaders right now for the Giants and the Bears, you'll see Jaxson Dart is quite a ways away from Caleb Williams in yardage. But he's tied with him in touchdowns.
Okay. Well, the Giants have not been that great.
But
so
he's
that plays
played
into
3
it.
less games than Caleb Williams has.
Okay. Was he injured?
No, he just didn't get the starting job. He's a rookie.
Oh, I see. I see.
And they went with Russell
Veteran.
Wilson
for
in
the
the
first game.
offseason, but he didn't last. Now they're with a young guy, and he's doing better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you'll see Cam Scatabo on here is their leading rusher, and he's out for the season. So they haven't really found someone to come in and at least replace that
Okay.
yet. And to be fair, no one's really had enough time to replace that. Jaxson Dart, when you take a closer look at these numbers here, he scares me in this game. I feel like after last week, the Bears defense showed that they're capable of getting picked apart in the passing game. And I feel like the Giants might be sitting back, licking their chops. And I hope the Bears aren't taking this game for granted because they're 5-3 and the Giants are 2-7.
Of course, but the Giants gonna try to exploit our weaknesses as well because that's the name of the game.
Well, of course. Just don't underestimate this guy's ability to find the end zone. I mean, he has 15 touchdowns in 5 games. That's like 3 touchdowns a game he's putting up with his legs or with his arm, and
Yeah, don't underestimate the
do
guy.
not underestimate this guy, and don't try and get into a shootout with him either. That's it's easier said than done.
Of course.
Also, he has 5 rushing touchdowns, as I just mentioned. So don't try and overcompensate for your passing game defense from last week and leave you susceptible to him running all over you. So there's a lot I feel like that the Bears need to be really cautious with on defense here. And yet I know saying that they cannot play just to win this game. They can't play not to lose. They have to play to win.
Strategy.
Yes. But the passing defense does need to be better. It was awful. And just don't let the New York Giants sneak attack you here on your own home turf, especially when you're doing so good.
Well, it's a winnable game for sure.
It is. And you know who else thinks it's winnable, Nika?
Poly Markets.
The Poly Markets. That's right. You're right on cue with me. That's awesome. Look at this, folks. The Bears are favored 67-33 in this game. They were only favored 57-43 last weekend, if I remember correctly. They have a 2 out of 3 times advantage here with the bettors. So that's where they're putting their money. Now, if you look at the spreads, another close game, 4.5, 3.5. I mean, most games in the NFL are pretty close because there is a term that exists, such as any given Sunday, and it exists for a reason. And that's because a lot of crazy things can happen on Sundays sometimes. And we saw it last week in Cincinnati with the Bears up 41-27 with
that we did.
minutes left in the fourth quarter, and yet somehow Cincinnati was able to take a lead. Let's try to avoid those stressors this week. Let's get a big lead and just hold it this time. The point spread here, it's predicted to be pretty close. I also want to throw this nugget out there. The over right now, 47.5, 48.5, and 46.5, respectively. The 47.5 has the under at 56-47. Now, after last week, with the Bears' passing defense taken into account, Jaxson Dart's touchdown total, and Caleb Williams also playing fairly well last week, 4 touchdowns, including 1 receiving pass, I have a hard time seeing this game going under 48 points.
Yeah, it might be higher scoring game based on just the stats you just read off.
So I might take a swing at the over in this one after last week because I'm just not so sure that this is going to be a low scoring, like 24-24 kind of game. It doesn't feel like a 24-21 game to me. It feels more like
30s.
a 42-40 game like last week.
Oh, you think even 40s? Okay, I can see that, but
I
also
have
30s.
very little faith in the Bears' passing defense right now. So I just hope that they can run the ball effectively and control the clock in this game and keep it out of New York's hands enough where they can kind of play more of a passing defense in the second half. But before we totally take off for this pregame show, I want to give us the predictions, everybody.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So, Nika, what are you thinking?
The Bears will win this game. It's going to go over in the 50s.
Okay.
Well, no, it has to go higher. So
It has to go 49 to pass the over.
Okay.
48.5 is like the highest that
Okay.
you can bet on, at least on Polymarket.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
I think
stick with
they
that.
score more than like 25-24 is 49 points. So I think they're going to score more than that.
I think they're going to score a lot more. It's going to get into the 50s as a
Yeah,
total.
for sure, if not higher. I'm also going to say the Bears win this game, but I am going to say Caleb only goes for 225 in this game and only 2 touchdown passes. But the Bears are also going to rush for over 200 yards as a team in this game and also get 2 rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
They're also going to get a couple of field goals, everybody, and they are going to win this game 34-26. They will improve to 6-3 on the 2025 season and put themselves in a really interesting place with 8 games remaining at 6-3.
Okay.
So I hope
a
that's where
good
we're
prediction.
at. I hope we have a Victory Monday celebration and we can start to look ahead to the final 8 games of this crazy season as we move on. All right, thank you for joining us on this Chicago Bears pregame show right here on the Kanika Sports Channel. It is Friday. Have a happy Friday and have a great weekend, everybody.